Hiya, buddy. This is I Need Friends, a podcast about whatever. I'm Kelly, and you're my friend today. Congratulations to you. Today, I'm going to be talking about the two times that I tried out for American Idol. Was only going to do it once. Ended up doing it twice. Both times were less than enjoyable. Generally, just all around not a good time. It sucked, okay? Trying out for American Idol sucked. I thought, I really wasn't expecting anything to happen. Like, I'm an okay singer. I mean, I'm pretty good, but it's nothing unusual. I have a pretty basic voice. And I also have a pretty basic look. So I don't really stand out. So I wasn't expecting to go there and it be like a sure thing. But I thought at the very least the experience would be fun, and it was not. The whole thing wasn't bad. like I went up with my mom the first time. We live in Virginia, and the closest auditions they were having, this was back in 2011, I think, maybe even 2010. Yeah, actually, yeah, it was 2010. The auditions that they were having, the closest ones were up in New Jersey. They were having it at some big sports center, and it was like a 3-day event. So the first day is for signups, the second day is for signups, and the next day is for auditions. So my mom, being really fucking cool, is like, hey, let's go get a hotel in New Jersey. We'll go to the first day of signups, and then the second day we'll go to New York City. We'll just spend the day there, come back, do the auditions, stay another night, and go home. So we're going to make a little girls trip out of it. And that was cool, except that New Jersey fucking sucked. What are you people doing that live in New Jersey? I mean, I went to this one part of it, so clearly I know about the whole entirety of New Jersey now, just from going to this one place. So you can't pump your own gas. You can't buy beer and wine from a Walmart or a grocery store. You have to go to a liquor store. You're just driving along the interstate, just chilling in the right lane, and all of a sudden the lane just ends. And you're like, oh, I guess I have to stop driving now. And the first few times it happened, I was like, this has got to be me. I'm missing the signs, right? Because clearly, if a lane is ending on a road where people are traveling around 60 miles per hour, certainly there's going to be a sign warning me that I need to merge soon. And I started looking for them, and I wasn't seeing them. Maybe you guys know something I don't know. You freaks from New Jersey, but I didn't like it. And the people too, when you're walking, they'll just fucking come at you hard. It's normally when you're walking towards someone, you both kind of will just ease a little bit to the right. You just a little scoochy scooch. You just scooch on over, and the person just goes by you because it's that easy, and it's just basic decency when you're walking places. But in New Jersey, no, they just come right at you, and they they lean forward. They got their head down. They're clenching their fists, they're ready to fucking charge. It's you better get out of their way. If you're a pedestrian in a crosswalk and there's a car coming, you better hurry the fuck up, because they look at that as oh, someone's crossing the road. I better barrel them down. And they just slam the gas, and you're like, oh my God, because you don't know what to do. You're in a crosswalk. You're I have the right of way because I'm in a crosswalk. That's what these big white lines mean. And they're there also to indicate to the oncoming driver, slow down. There are people crossing the road, and you might hit them with your giant metal car. Not so much of a concern to them. New York City was really cool though. I can't remember what time of year it was that we went, but it was nice. It wasn't too hot, but you didn't need a jacket. And we went to, I think, Penn Station, parked up there, and then went up to New York City, spent the whole day. It was great. We just walked around, took the bus, ate at places. I'm not really into shopping, so we didn't really do any shopping. We were just kind of like sightseeing, went to Times Square, just walking around, like enjoying the sights, just having a good time. So like that part was fun. And I really enjoyed hanging out with my mom, and like, we had fun at the hotel, and I had this wristband that they give you when you go to the sign up. So I had the wristband, and there was a day in between before the auditions where I still needed to have the wristband on. So like my mom had to wash my hair for me so I wouldn't mess up the wristband. I'm like sitting in the tub and she's like washing my hair, and we had fun hanging out. But the auditions, like, oh God, those are so awful too. So we got there, I think, like at 5 a.m, and you're waiting outside. It was like, just a giant sports arena that seats thousands of people, and you're waiting in line outside and just like waiting and waiting and waiting. And then you start making your way inside, and you're quickly making your way inside, and you're like, all right, here we go. And then you get inside, and then you're waiting again, and you're just slowly moving through this line until eventually, hours later, you're now sitting in the arena, and you're watching like the whole bottom section just fill up. And you're really starting to be able to see how many people are around you. You can't see me right now, but I'm moving my hand in a big dramatic circle to indicate all of the people sitting in the arena for absolutely no one. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just so you can imagine. There was this woman going around. She had a megaphone. And she's going to each section of seats and is telling them, like, this is what's going to happen for the rest of the audition. And she starts explaining that there's going to be 12 tables with 2 judges at each table, and people are going to be sent up in groups of 4. You kind of like audition in groups of 4. So after a few more hours of sitting and waiting and watching all these people audition, like just right in front of you, like they're down on the floor of the arena, and they really do just have like 12 folding tables set up. There's these black curtains, like on these little rolling stands, whatever you call them, not important, in between each table. And there's 2 judges at each table. And then they have you wait in rows of 4, and then they just kind of audition you 4 at a time, and they'll pick whomever from there. I don't think they're limited to like they can only pick one of the 4 or something. I don't think it was anything like that. But from there, if you make it past that audition, you go, I don't know, somewhere else. You go through these doors. I never made it. So I don't know what was behind the doors. I didn't make it past the first part. But you go behind those doors, and there's like 4 more rounds. So, and this is the first set of auditions. Like, obviously, the celebrity panel's not going to be there. Like, logistically, that just doesn't fucking work, right? You can't have them going around to every city for every audition. But so they have to have these auditions before they have the ones that are televised. So the people that are on there that suck, that, were getting laughed at and made fun of and just nationally embarrassed, they made it through all of these rounds, like just for the purpose of putting them on there to get laughed at. I don't know. I think that's fucked up. I just don't really like that. Anyway, like I said, I didn't make it past the first round. Like the judges were just they would just get up in the middle of people singing. Like one of them would just walk away, like just leaving one there. And when it was finally my turn, I get put in this group with 3 other girls that are like just my age, that look almost exactly like me. It was just, we're all looking at each other like we know, like we can tell, like, well, all of us just look the same. We all just look like normal white girls. So when you're waiting to sing, there's 3 rows of 4 or whatever in front of you when you get up to the table. So you're watching the people go in front of you, and you're kind of looking at all the people that are literally right next to you at the other tables, and the judges are kind of watching you as you walk up. And there was a man and a woman at the table I went to. Like as soon as I walk up, I make eye contact with the guy, and I can just tell he doesn't like me. You just tell by the way he's looking at me. He's just like, well, this girl's not going to make it. I've already decided. So I'm like, fuck. All I got is this woman. I'm riding on this woman. Like, I'm counting on you, lady. Well, before I get up there, she gets up and just walks away. So it's just leaving the one dude. I don't know if anything would have been different. Obviously, I'm not like hanging on to that, like, oh, if only she had been there, I would have been America's next idol. Um, no, it's just like, I just happened to notice, like, fuck, like, that was the worst time because I already know this dude doesn't like me. He didn't even look at me when I was singing, and he waved me away with his hand, just a little. What? That's it? Just a little flutter. Goodbye. So I just walk away, and my mom was waiting for me in some other area because she had been with me up until we got like split up into the groups of four. 'Cause she wasn't auditioning. So I go over to her and she's like, you're already done? That's it? And I'm like, yep, that's it. Let's fucking go home. We were going to stay one more night, but we weren't liking Jersey for one. The audition just sucked. Like none of it was fun. There was no like enjoyable experience in there. So we were like, fuck it. We're not even going to stay for the last night. Like, let's just go home. We got some good dinner on the way, got a couple good CDs because, it was still common to buy CDs then. I guess people still get CDs now. I don't know. I don't really have any. That's not important. Let's continue. So the second time was a few years later. I think this was like 2014, maybe 2015. A friend of mine just kind of last minute, I'm pretty sure it was the night before the auditions, told me that there was a bus tour coming to Richmond, which was only like a couple hours away from where I lived. And I already had my daughter at this point. So she's like, I'll watch your daughter for you while you go. It was my day off. And it was just kind of like this opportunity just fell into my lap. I might as well, take it. Like I'm not doing anything else. It's a bus tour. So it's bound to be different. It's a 1-day bus tour. You don't have a separate sign up thing. It's all outside. Like I guess there's probably not going to be too many people. Like obviously there was going to be a lot, but I was being naive again. I didn't think that it was going to be that ridiculous. And then when I get there that morning, I have to find somewhere to park. So like in Richmond, downtown Richmond, you have all these buildings, tall buildings, but a lot of them are older. And they've put in these parking garages that you have to pay for. They have parking lots that you also have to pay for. And so I'm driving around just trying to find somewhere that I can park. I was preferring a parking lot. And just you put something in the little machine as you leave and you're good to go. So I finally found one of those blocks away from where I needed to be. So I'm walking to find just the front of the line. I have to find out like where the bus is just so I can find some part of the line. I finally do. And then I have to walk to the end of the line, which is like another few blocks. And it's just going and going and going. And like the whole time I'm walking just past all these people. And then there's of course like other people walking behind me. And I'm just kind of casually walking. Like there's already a really long line. What's 10, 20 more people difference going to make? Like I don't need to run, to the end of this line. So I'm watching these people rush in front of me and more people getting in line. And I'm just debating like, God, should I just go home? Like maybe I should just go. Like this is obviously going to be an all day thing. I was prepared for hours, but I wasn't really prepared to be here all day. And I made the wrong choice and stayed. So I brought a bottle of water. I don't know if I like checked the weather or didn't check the weather before I left, or it was just different, but I didn't bring like an umbrella or anything. I put some sunscreen on before I left. I didn't bring any with me. I didn't bring any snacks, like just ill prepared for the day for one. And I'm alone. So it's like once you're in line, like that's it, unless you want to lose your spot in line. I'm looking around at all these other people and they have friends with them. They have their parents with them. They have bags and chairs and umbrellas and all kinds of snacks. And they're putting sunscreen on each other. And I'm just like, God damn it, I really fucked up. And I'm wearing like this, I'm trying to like, like be all cute and stuff. And I'm wearing this black short like flare skirt and a white scoop neck shirt. So it's like it's scooped in the back and the front. And I have my hair in a braid. So like my back and my chest are just being like exposed to the sun that's just like beating down on us in Richmond in August. It's so humid, but I wore like a white shirt because I was like, I'm probably going to sweat. So if I get like sweat all over me, it won't be as noticeable. But I wasn't expecting to get rained on. So that happened. I'm watching like the clouds come overhead, and I checked the weather and it said it was supposed to wait till like 6. I pulled it up on my phone there and I'm like, okay, we should be good, but I'm just watching these clouds like fucking loom over us. And I'm like, all right, this is coming down on us. This is happening. And I'm watching this guy in this food cart that's maybe a block ahead of us because he's standing right next to the line. So he's getting everyone that's coming up to him. And I'm like, okay, I just need to fucking make it to this guy in the food cart before it starts raining because his setup was not as such that he could stand out there in the rain. And I'm just like, it's getting like darker and darker. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I was so hungry. I'm like looking at the 7-Eleven that's just right across the street from me, like right next to me. I would just have to go across the street. But like, I don't know these people. Like I started talking to this girl. She was probably my age. She like complimented me on my outfit or something. Cause like I said, I was looking really cute. And so we just started chatting or whatever. But like, I don't know this bitch. Like, I don't know if I can trust her. If I'm going to be like, hey, hold my spot in line. And then like, I've wasted hours when I come back and she's like, I don't know you. Who's this girl? But she probably wouldn't have done that. But I'm an overthinker. So, and I usually overthink to like the worst or the most ridiculous scenario, whichever pops up first. So the rain ended up coming down. I didn't make it to the food cart. The guy left. So I'm still hungry. I don't even know like how long I had been waiting at this point. It had already been a few hours. I'm just trying to pass time talking to this girl. When it was raining, we tried to find like shelter in certain areas. If you were close to a doorway, you could stand in the doorway. If you were underneath a tree or whatever. But for the most part, you're just fucking getting rained on. And there were lots of people that didn't have umbrellas. Like I wasn't the only one without an umbrella. The girl talking to me didn't have an umbrella. So I started thinking like they're probably just going to cancel this shit. We're all standing out here getting rained on. I don't even know what they're doing up at the bus, like how they're handling auditions there. And I'm like, it's just this rain is like not letting up. It's just like dumping on us. I'm completely soaked. I don't know if I'm wet from like rain anymore or sweat anymore or both. It's just, I mean, it was both. I just couldn't really tell which was which. Because I was just completely fucking drenched. And this person starts coming around and then I'm thinking, oh, they're telling us all that it's going to be canceled and, you know, we're going home or whatever, which I was fine with at that point. It was almost welcoming, but I wasn't going to leave on my own. Like I'd already put in that time. So I'm going to stay and I'm going to do it. Just see what happens. I've already made all that effort to get up there and wait in line for that long. So it's like, I'm not going to voluntarily leave. But if someone's like, hey, we're done here, I'm not going to be that upset. Well, they tell us that they found a building to move us into. But the building's only going to hold so many people. So there's still a line to get into the building. It's just gotten more of the people inside than were before. And I think really it just made like the people that were judging and people working more comfortable. So by the time I get in the building, it's already stopped raining. It had already cleared up. The sun had come out again. I'm already sweating again. Starting to dry up a little bit and then sweating all over again. And I just know that like I'm probably looking a little bit rough, but I don't think that I look that bad for several reasons. So one, I had dressed in such a way that I could get a little disheveled. I put my hair in a braid, put a little flower to, you know, kind of distract. I only put mascara on. I don't really wear face makeup anyway, but I just didn't want that to be like, you know, getting messed up or whatever. White shirt, black skirt, just keep it simple. Nothing crazy. Well, we get in there. Oh my God, I gotta pee so bad. I see this bathroom and I'm like, oh, we're fucking right next to the bathroom. I could just go, but I don't know if like, my temporary bestie in line, again, I don't know if she's gonna hold my line. And we're like almost there. Like I can hear people singing from down the hallway. Like we're so close. It's already like 6 o'clock in the evening. So I'm just holding it. My stomach is hurting so bad. All I can think about is how much I need to pee. And we finally get in the room. My little friend is off somewhere else. We separate, never to see each other again. I go up to the judge. It's finally my turn to sing. And I'm actually doing a really good job. And I can tell by the look on his face that he's enjoying it. He's listening to me. It didn't stop me after 10 seconds and wave me away, like, see you later. And he goes, wow, you have a really good voice. That was strong and powerful. And I'm like, fuck yeah, it was. And then he goes, but you just don't have the look that we're going for. I can't really argue with that. So, and there's like tons of people in the room. So you just kind of leave. You just walk out. You're like, all right, thanks, bye. And there's hundreds and hundreds of people there to audition. So it really just doesn't make any sense to try to plead your case when they see like 50 people waiting behind you that look and sound just like you. So I'm like, whatever, fuck yeah, I can go use the bathroom. I was more disappointed that it was like, oh, he did like my voice and it was the looks that got him, or maybe they just say that. I don't really fucking know. But anyway, so I'm tailing it to the bathroom, and there's still a line, but it's not that long, and I'm just sitting there, just kind of bouncing, waiting. Finally get to pee, and I'm just like, this was my triumph of the day. When I sat down on that toilet in that public restroom, surrounded by 15 strangers, fist pumping in the stall because I was just so happy to finally be peeing. That was the highlight of my day. There's almost nothing more relieving than like finally peeing when you really have to pee. So I leave the stall. I mean, obviously that's what you have to do in order to actually exit the bathroom. But I come out of the stall and there's still a bunch of people in there. So I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta wash my hands. That's a joke, by the way. So I'm washing my hands and I look in the mirror and I'm like, God damn it. No wonder this guy said I didn't have the look. I look like shit. Like my hair is just like, it got like matted down from sweating, and then it got like frizzy from the rain, and then the frizziness got matted down again with the sweating that came after the rain. I had like stains on my shirt in like random places. I'm not even sure how. I was like wondering if like maybe it was just the lighting in the bathroom versus the lighting in my home. Maybe the stains were there the whole time and I just didn't notice them. And then the fucking mascara is like all underneath my eyes. I just got like all this black gunk, and my cheeks, my forehead, my chest is like so splotchy with like this red sunburn that I had gotten throughout the day. Just, yeah, I looked like a homeless person that found a decent outfit and just like snuck in line and was like, I guess I'll sing this song now. But that, that fucking bitch that I was hanging out with all day, like she didn't even think to tell me, like, hey, you got all this black shit under your eyes. Like, maybe you should just wipe that off, or I don't fucking know. Like, really? Was I that much competition? I mean, come on. Let's be real. That you couldn't just say, hey, I don't want to embarrass you or anything, but like all the fucking makeup on your eyes is like no longer on your eyes. It's now on your cheekbones. And I think that you, like, fuck you for not telling me that. Also, not really. Fuck you. I don't know your life and your situation. Random girl that I met at the American Idol bus auditions. But still, fuck you. That's gotta like violate girl code or something, right? Not that I really know girl code. Someone educate me on the topic if you feel like it. You can send me an email at ineedfriendspod@gmail.com, where I welcome all kinds of feedback and commentary. Or you can find me on Twitter. It's a lady human, a lady human, and just talk at me there so that I'm not constantly just talking to myself into my computer. Maybe someone will be talking back at me through their computer, and that would be cool. So, anyway, don't try out for American Idol because it sucks unless you want to spend all day and you have next to no chance. Just like play the lottery instead. You probably got better odds that way. Um, no, I know some people do this and they have a good time, but I left those bus auditions and no longer in the bus. I'm leaving the building, realizing I have no idea where I am. I don't even remember where I parked. I got to walk around Richmond now and find my car. That was definitely the last time, like any type of show like that I'm ever gonna try to participate in. And I would recommend it you avoid them also. So anyway, that was uh that was my fun experience or experiences. You got a little 2 in 1 there. So I will have to catch you guys next time. See you later.